Hello, everyone, and thanks so much for taking time out of your day to join the West Virginia Family Engagement Center for the Strong Families Online Learning Series. Today's topic is making the most of mindfulness. The West Virginia Family Engagement Center is made possible by a $4.8 million grant awarded by the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Innovation and Improvement. With these funds, our organization helps families participate in their child's learning both inside and outside of the school setting. We feel very fortunate to work with 100 schools across the state of West Virginia on these efforts. Due to the ever-changing atmosphere of our communities, nation, and world during the coronavirus outbreak, we must rethink the ways in which we educate students and engage families during these challenging times. On behalf of the West Virginia Family Engagement Center, our heartfelt thoughts go out to all who have been affected by this disease, and we strive to serve as a thought leader alongside schools and communities as we navigate these challenges together. The West Virginia Family Engagement Center is a part of the Adventure Group, which is an education nonprofit that provides customized programming to serve students, educators, and families in West Virginia and throughout the United States. Our organization creates innovative solutions to education challenges and works alongside the country, providing unique services to K-12 education and communities. My name is Dr. Meaghan Cochrane. I am a senior education researcher with the Adventure Group, and I serve as the Assistant Director of the West Virginia Family Engagement Center, and I'll be your facilitator today. Again, as our learning environments transition from the classroom to virtual and in-home platforms, the West Virginia Family Engagement Center will actually be hosting a series of family-focused webinars to explore educational opportunities for students and families in the home during school closures. We greatly appreciate you taking time out of your day to join us to discuss ways in which we can continue to learn, connect, and grow together with our children in the home during these challenging times. During today's webinar, we'll cover several different topics. First, defining mindfulness. Then we'll explore mindfulness in times of uncertainty. We'll go over some quick mindfulness practices that can be incorporated into the home. And finally, we'll provide you with some additional mindfulness resources. Mindfulness is the basic human ability to be fully present, aware of where we are and what we're doing, and not overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's going on around us. Everyone possesses mindfulness. You just have to learn how to access it through a variety of different practices. And we'll go over several very simple practices that you can incorporate in the home with your children during this time. Some things to know about mindfulness as we get started today. Mindfulness is not obscure or exotic. It's familiar to us because it's what we already do and how we already are. It takes many shapes and goes by many names. It's not a special added thing that we do. We already have the capacity to be present, and it doesn't require us to change who we are. We can cultivate innate qualities with simple practices that are scientifically demonstrated to benefit ourselves, our loved ones, our friends and neighbors, the people we work with, and the institutions and organizations we take part in. To incorporate mindfulness, you don't need to change anything about yourself. It recognizes and cultivates the best of who we are as human beings. Also, it has the potential to really transform our social practices. Anyone can participate in mindfulness. It cultivates universal human qualities and doesn't require anyone to change their beliefs. Everyone can benefit from participating in mindfulness, and it's easy to learn. Mindfulness is also a way of living. It's more than just a practice, it's a way of life. It brings awareness and caring into everything we do, and it cuts down on needless stress. Even a little bit of mindfulness can go a long way in making our lives better. Mindfulness is also evidence-based. Science and experience demonstrate the positive benefits of mindfulness for our health, happiness, work, and relationships. While mindfulness is a beneficial practice for anybody at any point, it's especially helpful for families during the current COVID-19 situation for a variety of reasons. First, many of our norms for personal time, such as going shopping, driving to work, etc., have been disrupted by the current situation. As such, practicing mindfulness encourages us to be intentional about creating space for us to recharge daily. Also, multitasking, especially with the added stress of caring for your family that's now home 24/7, can cause significant amounts of stress. Mindfulness increases focus on one activity at a time, helping you delegate and de-stress your routine. Mindfulness is anything that helps everyone slow down, be present, and come together. What better time to do that than when you're together all day, every day? There are tons of ways to be mindful about family time, including a daily yoga session, a walk together outside, or enjoying thoughtful conversation during a family dinner. Now is certainly an uncertain time. However, mindfulness can help us practice and accept uncertainty by rooting us in the present rather than worrying about the future. Again, mindfulness is the basic human ability to be fully present, aware of where we are and what we're doing, and not overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's going on around us. That's something very important for each of us to keep in mind during this time. Although we can't control everything that's going on around us with the COVID-19 pandemic, we can control how we react to the situation. And mindfulness is a great way to help us de-stress, recenter, and ease a lot of that anxiety, tension, and stress that we are feeling during this time. Everyone possesses mindfulness, you just have to learn how to access it through a variety of different practices. We have some very simple mindfulness activities that you can start now in your home with your children. The first is muscle squeezes and body scans. With that, this is a very easy one to do. You start at your toes, you pick one muscle and squeeze for 5 seconds and then release. We can practice that together. So start at your toes, tense that muscle, hold for 5 seconds, and release. So with that technique, you can move up your body until you get to your head, noticing each part of your body throughout that practice. Also, we have some very simple breathing techniques that we'll practice on the next slide. It's a very great grounding exercise, super simple. Again, we're gonna practice that on the next slide, but it's something very easy that you can do both for yourself and with your children in the home during this time of great stress. Also, mindful eating is a great mindfulness technique that each of us can incorporate. It's really easy right now to fall into mindless snacking when we're offered limitless outlets for that. With that being said, we can tend to find ourselves making unhealthy choices with our food, with our snacking, because we are in the home all day, every day. You can practice mindful eating by paying attention to the smell, taste, and look of your food and focusing on your eating habits. You can think about how you chew, notice whether the food is still as satisfying as the first bite, and distinguish between actual hunger and cravings. As a side note, cravings go away in 30 minutes if you don't give in. This is a great technique to practice with our children, as well as it encourages us to stay healthy. It encourages us, to remain fit and also active and make healthy choices during this time as well. Another mindfulness activity that you can incorporate in the home with your children involves melody and music. You can pick a favorite song or group of songs. You can focus on the whole song or tune into specific elements like the voice, lyrics, or instruments. We encourage you to do this with your children. Maybe you can showcase some songs from your childhood with them and have them pick some favorites of your own. Just by allowing that melody to really pick up, to focus on those words, to focus on the maybe the chorus or the instrumentation, that can really help us, again, to de-stress, to be mindful of that music, and to incorporate mindfulness in that way. Now we're going to practice that very simple breathing technique that I mentioned. This is very, very simple, but also very effective. You can utilize this technique with your child during a particularly emotional experience, if they're very stressful, or just need an outlet to express those emotions. So let's practice this breathing together. We're going to inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more time, inhale, and exhale. So as you can see in this exercise, you are being very mindful of the breaths that you're taking in and then putting out. You can take about 3 seconds for that inhale, another 3 seconds for that exhale. Encourage your child to really be mindful of their emotions during that time, and it can really help them to calm down, to de-stress and recenter during a particularly stressful, tense, or emotional experience. So again, this is very simple to do, but can be a great mindfulness activity to incorporate into your routine, particularly when emotions are high. Mindful stretching is another great mindfulness practice to incorporate into your daily routine with your children. If you're familiar with yoga, you might already have practiced some of these mindful stretching poses, but we want you to be familiar of these. And again, these are very easy, simple to incorporate in the home with your kids. The first is the child's pose, as you can see on the screen demonstrated. The second is the warrior pose. And the third is the happy pose. And these common yoga stretches can help you focus on yourself and also help your child focus on how the body feels and brings a peaceful core. We recommend using these as a morning routine to open up the body and mind to the day's activities. So again, these help to really de-stress, to recenter, and can help you and your child both incorporate mindfulness and this great stretching to your health and wellness routine each day. Our next tip that we'd like to share is a 2-word family check-in. This is a very simple activity that you can incorporate into your daily routine with your children. You can use this as a quick check-in, again, as part of your daily routine to get your children comfortable with being present in their emotions. We recommend using this as a grounding tool for families to gauge your child's daily interactions and feelings, and as checkpoints for you to step in where needed for additional emotional support. So the first step to this is having your child connect to their breath and take notice of how they feel. You can incorporate those really simple breathing techniques that we did earlier with one another. Again, having them inhale, hold for 3 seconds, exhale, hold for 3 seconds, connect with that breath, and really focus on how they're feeling and their emotions at that time. The second step of this is for your child to select 2 words to describe how they're currently feeling. And then finally, the third step is to share those 2 words with the family. Again, you can utilize this as a daily practice, and we do encourage that. You can use it as a morning ritual. You can use it at dinner time or at bedtime to cultivate those really strong emotional connections as a family. You can also use this with your child either before, during, or after a particularly emotional experience to help them regulate, de-stress, and recenter. We have some great online mindfulness resources here that are from the Greater Good in Education. They offer excellent resources in a searchable database for students, which you can break down by age level and targeted social and emotional learning skills that you'd like to foster at home with your child. They have step-by-step guides for families to use these lessons in your home. And on the screen here, you can see how those are broken down. We have some for pre-K and lower elementary, the acts of kindness activity, where students draw and write about ways they've acted with kindness towards others. We have appreciating our bodies, a body scan with gratitude. This is very similar to that body scan that we practiced earlier. And that's for students of younger ages. And then we have ones for middle school and high school as well. It says a moment for me, a self-compassion break for teens. And that's allowing them to self-regulate and comfort themselves during stressful times. So these are just a sampling of resources available from the Greater Good in Education. But we really recommend that you check out this website to search for specific resources for your children in the home during this time. And as we know, during this very stressful time of COVID-19, tensions and stress are running very high. We certainly cannot control the situation, but we can control our response to the situation and the way that we respond to our children during this situation as well. So for today's takeaway, we really encourage you to incorporate these simple, easy to use mindfulness techniques in the home with your entire family. So we would love for you to practice at least one of these mindfulness activities with your family today and share it with us on social media using the hashtag StayHomeWV. And speaking of hashtags, we'd love for you to connect with us on social media. You can find us on Twitter. Our handle is @WVFEC. So if you find WVFEC on Twitter, that stands for the West Virginia Family Engagement Center. We'd love for you to connect with us that way. We're also embedded into the Adventure Group's Facebook site. So if you search the Adventure Group on Facebook, you'll be able to find more information about the West Virginia Family Engagement Center there as well. Finally, our website is WVFEC.org. If you go to WVFEC.org and click on that COVID-19 resource page, you'll find information and a recording of today's webinar, as well as lots of other great resources that you can incorporate in the home during these school closures with your family due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So we really encourage you to visit our website for additional resources and learning supports for yourself and your children during this time. I'm also here to support you at any time. You can reach me at my email, which is mcochrane@edvgroup.org, Or if you'd like to give me a call, my phone number is 304-296-9021, extension 12. I'd love for you to reach out if I can help you in any way. Again, I'm here to support you at any time during this COVID-19 pandemic. And here are the references that were utilized during today's presentation. Again, we greatly appreciate you taking time out of your day to join the West Virginia Family Engagement Center for our Strong Families online learning series. We hope that you will visit our website, again, which is WVFEC.org. Click on that COVID-19 resource page for helpful tips and information to utilize in the home so you can continue to learn, connect, and grow with your children during the school closures. Again, thanks so much for taking time out of your day to join us, and we hope that you stay safe, healthy, and well during this time.